late one moonless night, the sea morgue first appeared to mortal sight. He let a feather float down through the air, and rumors of its fame spread everywhere. Throughout the world, men separately conceived an image of its shape, and all believed their private fantasies uniquely true.
In China still this feather is on view, whence comes the saying you have heard, no doubt. Seek knowledge, unto China seek it out.
If this same feather had not floated down, the world would not be filled with his renown. It is a sign of him, and in each heart there lies this feather's hidden counterpart. But since no words suffice, what use are mine to represent or to describe this sign? Whoever wishes to explore the way, let him set out. What more is there to say? With a caravan of cloths,
I left Sistan
with cloth spun from the heart,
woven from the sun, with cloth of a silk cardboard. Clothes designed by an artist called Tong. Every stitch was drawn by force from the breast, every weft separated in torment from the heart.
These are not woven cloths like any cloth. Do not judge them in the same way as others. This is no cloth that can be spoilt by water. This is no cloth that can be damaged by fire. Its color is not destroyed by the earth's dust, nor effaced by the passing of time. With a caravan of cloths, I left Sistan. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here to help us try out some new material for our show Move, Squeal and Scratch in the Garden of Shadows, a working title, I assure you. We've changed it 3 times. Tonight we wanted to call it 2,000 Jugs, Vocal and Silent, but we decided to stick with Move, Squeal and Scratch because we move, squeal, and scratch throughout the show. We really appreciate your being here and being part of our work in progress. It's very important for us to try this material out on audiences, and to receive your feedback is our one desire.
Great. So what we're going to do eventually is, this is going to be like a music theater piece with hopefully lots of spectacle And these will be conceived in a way that they kind of inhabit the same fantastical world. Right now we're just doing like a concert version of excerpts, so some songs are actual songs, some of them are just reading, some things we just trying some music with some text. They may not end up that way, so it's a mishmash of different things right now. Anything you want to say?
No, except that this is one of the incomplete songs.
The next one, the mosquito, yeah, it's written halfway as a song, and then we switch to reading just to finish the story for you.
Justice from Solomon. Oh, Solomon, you deal out justice to devils, the children of men, and fairies. What lost soul has not been sought by your bounty?
مرغ و ماهی در پناه عدل توست کیست آن گم گشته کش فضلت نجست داده ما را که بزاری ما بی نصیب از باغ و گلزاری ما
Give justice to us, for we are very miserable. We are deprived of the orchard and the rose garden. The troubles of all weaklings are solved by you. We are weak and frail. You are powerful and care for the lowly. Do justice. Take our hand. Relieve us from this sorrow, O you whose hand is the hand of God.
مشکلات هر ضعیفی از تو حل پشه باشد در ضعیفی خود مثل شهره ما در ضعف و اشکسته پری شهره تو در لطف و مسکین پروری ای تو در اطباق قدرت منتهی ما در کمی و بیرهی داده ما را از این غم کن جدا دستگیر ای دست خود دست خدا
You seeker of justice, who in his insolence has done you harm and scratched your face? Oh, wonder that in our time this oppressor is not in prison and chains. When we were born, injustice died. Who then has committed this act of injustice? The divine will bestowed this kingdom on us so that people may not cry out to heaven, that the sky and the stars may not be shaken, that the empyrean may not tremble at the orphan's wail, that no living soul may be marred by violence. O frail one, do not look to heaven, for you have a heavenly king in the temporal world.
پس سلیمان گفت ای انسان ما ظالم کجاست کو نهان در حبس و در زنجیر ماست چون که ما ظالم ظلمان روز مرد پس به عهد ما که ظلمی پیش برد.
My appeal is against the wind. Because of his oppression, we are in dire straits. With closed lips, we are eating blood. Oh, you with the pretty voice, you must hearken with your soul to the command of God. God has said to me, beware, O judge, do not hear one litigant without the other. Your words are sound. My adversary is the wind, and he is in your jurisdiction. O east wind, the mosquito complains of your injustice. Come, hark, come face to face with your adversary and offer your rebuttal. When the wind heard the summons, he came at once. The mosquito took flight. Oh, mosquito, where are you going? Stop, that I may pass judgment on you both. Oh, king, my death is from his being. My days are black from his smoke. Since he has come, where shall I find rest? For he wrings the very breath from my body. Such is the seeker of the court of God. When God appears, the seeker disappears. Shadows in search of light vanish when his light shines. All wisdom is lost in this place. When the pen reaches this point, it breaks.
Now we'd like to do a trio of donkey poems. 3 short poems about donkeys.
The wish of the donkey without a tail. There once was a donkey without a tail. One day, consumed with grief over his tailless state, he set out on a quest for a tail and went for a walk. Mute, he yearned for a tail. Unawares, he happened upon a field. A farmer spotted him in a corner. The farmer leapt forth and cut off the donkey's ears. Poor donkey, so wished for a tail, didn't find a tail and lost both ears.
Pity him from the heart, but do not go to his head and ask him, how did this happen?
Go around, go around, go around and pull it out by the tail.
And for the last part, a section from the Conference of the Birds. Sheikh Abu Bakr of Neshabur one day led his disciples through a weary way. His donkey carried him, aloof, apart. And then the beast let out a monstrous fart. The sheikh began to tear his clothes and cry, till one of his disciples asked him why. The sheikh said, "When I looked, I saw a sea of my disciples sworn to follow me. They filled the roads, and in my mind there slid the thought, by God, I equal Bayazid. So many praise me. Can I doubt this sign that heaven's boundless glories will be mine?" Then, as I triumphed in my inmost heart, my donkey answered me, and with a fart. My pompous, self-deceiving soul awoke, and this is why I weep and tear my cloak.
So patient.
The talentless son. Mr. Abbas Ghali Khan had a son, a most talentless and wicked son. His name was Ali Mardan Khan, and he drove the housekeeper batty. He leapt on the back of carriages and scared the passengers to death. Every morning by the brook he was wallowing in the mud, splat like a worm. He was so stubborn and obnoxious that no one could stand him. Whatever his nanny said, he'd disobey and stick out his tongue at her. Whenever he found a sparrow's nest, he'd snatch away the baby birds. No matter how much they fed him, he asked for more. His mother was stunned by his stomach. Neither father nor mother was pleased with him, nor the teacher, the nanny, or the servant. Oh, my dear son, listen well, and don't be like Ali Mardan Khan.
داشت عباس قلی خان پسر بی ادب و بی هنری اسم او بود علی مردان خان کلفت خانه ز دستش به امان پشت کالسکه مردم میجست دل کالسکه نشین را میخست هر سحرگه دم در بر لب جو بود چون کرم بگل رفته فرو هرچه بود آن پسر خیره و بعد همه از او بدشان میآمد هرچه میگفت لله لج میکرد دهنش را به همه کج میکرد هر کجا لانه گنجشکی بود بچه گنجشک در آوردی زود هرچه میدادن میگفت کم است مادرش مات که این چه شکم است نه پدر راضی از اون نه مادر نه معلم نه لله نه نوکر ای پسر جان من این قصه بخوان تو مشو مثل علی مردان خان
The king of Mazandaran makes war on Kabus and the Persians. There was a famous warrior in Mazandaran who carried a heavy mace on his shoulders when he went into battle. His name was Joyan, and he was ambitious, a good fighter with his mace, and had an imposing voice. He came in front of the Persian army, and the mountains and plains echoed as he roared. Who will fight with me? Who will draw forth dust from water? Rostam, who had never known defeat in war, tugged at his reins and rode up to the king, flourishing his lance. He said, "Give the order, your majesty, and let me confront this demon." King Kavos replied, "No other Persian dares to fight him. The task is yours." Rostam called out to Julian, "You are ugly and evil, and your name will be struck from the list of warriors. Your fate is decided now. The woman who bore you will weep for you." Julian replied, "Don't be so sure of yourself when you confront Julian and his cold dagger. Your mother's heart will break, and she will weep over that cuirass and helmet of yours." Julian was dragged from his saddle by Rostam. Rostam spitted like a hen and hurled him to the ground. His armor was cut to pieces, his mouth filled with blood. The warriors of Mazandaran were appalled to see this. Their hearts gave way within them. The king of Mazandaran called out to his army,
Take courage and fight.
"Take courage and fight.
Take courage and fight.
Take courage and fight.
Attack like leopards. Attack. Attack like leopards. Attack. 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 Attack.
Attack like leopards. Attack. Attack like leopards. Attack.
Take courage and fight. Take courage and fight. Take courage and
like
fight.
leopards.
Take
Attack.
courage and fight.
Attack like leopards. Attack.
Courage and fight.
Attack like leopards. Attack.
Courage and fight.
Attack. 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 The battle raged for a week. Piles of the dead lay on every side, and the plants were smeared with men's brains. Trumpets and drums resounded like thunder, and the sun disappeared behind an ebony cloud. Rostam and a large detachment of troops made for where the king of Mazandaran fought, but for a long time the king held out, refusing to give ground. The ambitious hero, the killer of kings, called on God's help and rode straight toward the king of Mazandaran. He flung a lance at his belt, where it dislodged his spine, but in sight of the Persian warriors, the king used magic to transform his body into a mountainous crag, and Rostam bit on his lance in astonishment. Every man in the Persian camp who had any strength in his grip tried to lift the granite rock that encased the king of Mazandaran, but it could not be shifted from its place. Then Rostam opened his arms, and without testing its weight, lifted the rock, while the army looked on in wonder. He carried it to the space in front of King Kavos' pavilion, where he flung it down and addressed the rock. Either come out from hiding behind cowardice and sorcery, or I shall batter this rock to pieces with steel, crowbars, and an axe. When he heard this, the king of Mazandaran transformed himself into a cloudy mass, wearing a steel helmet and encased in body armor. Rostam seized him by the arm and laughed as he dragged him before King Kavas, to whom he said, "I've brought that mountainous crag whose fear of axes has made him tired of fighting with me." Kavus looked at the king of Mazandaran's face and saw nothing there that was worthy of a crown or throne. He remembered the suffering he had been through, and his heart ached at the thought of it. His mind filled with wind, and he told his executioner to hack the man to pieces with a sharp sword.
کوزه‌گری رفتم دوش، دیدم 2000 کوزه گویا و خموش. ناگاه یکی کوزه برآورد خروش، کو کوزه‌گر و کوزه خر و کوزه فروش.
Last night I went to a potter's workshop and saw 2,000 jugs, silent and vocal. Suddenly one jug roared out, "Where is the jug maker, the jug seller, and the jug buyer?" This next section, oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to speak here. It's
That's
after
fine,
this.
go ahead.
I wasn't supposed to do a lot of things.
Yeah, go
Like this.
Well,
What is that?
two foxes. Two foxes, self-explanatory when you hear the story.
That's what you think.
I hope anyway.
I do not know where I saw this story, or if I first heard it from a minstrel.
2 foxes, a male and a female, lovers and mates for life. 2 foxes, a male and a female, lovers and mates for life. 2 foxes.
The prince embarked on his hunt.
Lovers and mates for life. 2 foxes.
A galloping cloud of dust captured the pair. The beginning of their separation marked the end of their bond. One of them whimpered to the other, "Where shall we meet again?" The other fox moaned,
In the window of the fur trader's shop.
Now I talk. Oh, no, I don't.
I like it.
چشم کنار نیست آن جا جز آن که جان بسپارند چاره نیست The sea of love is the sea that has no shore. There you can only give up your soul. Avail yourself of the rain's way, for this mark like the road to buried treasure is not brave for everyone. Don't frighten us, frighten with reason's prohibitions, and bring wine, for that watchman has no authority in this province. You can see him with a pure eye, like the new moon. Not every eye can hold that crescent's beauty. Ask your own eyes, who is killing us, oh soul? It is not the sin of ascendance and the crime of stars.
Now I talk. So this next part is two. Oh, I have Cal next.
You talk, yeah.
Oh, right.
Get your animals
I
straight.
got so confused. I can't.
Told you not to drink.
Yeah, okay. There is in the world a green island where a sweet-mouthed cow lives all alone. She feeds on an entire field till nightfall and grows big and stout and choice. At night she becomes thin as a strand of hair from worry, thinking, what shall I eat tomorrow? At dawn, the field becomes green. The green blazing grain have grown up to a man's middle. With her ravenous hunger, the cow feeds on the vegetation and devours it entirely. At night again, she is stricken by panic and falls into a fever, thinking, what shall I eat tomorrow at mealtime? The cow has been at this for years. She never thinks, all these years I have been eating from this pasture, and not for one day have I ever gone hungry. Why then this constant fear, suffering, and anguish? The cow is the mortal vessel. The field, our world, where she grows ever thinner, worrying for her daily bread. You've been eating for years, and food has never been scarce. Free yourself from the future and look at the past. Bring to mind all the shrub and grub you've already eaten. Don't look at what is to come, and be less miserable.
چون تار مول نورده چون برایت صبح گردد سبز دشت تا میان رست غسیل سبز و کش تا میان رست غسیل سبز و کش اندر افتد با بقر تا به شب آن را چرد به سر به سر چندین سال من میخورم زین سبززار و زین چمن هیچ روزی کم نیامد روزیم چیست این ترس و غم و دلسوزیم باز شد شب میشود آنگاه زب میشود گاهر که آب و نفسان گاو است و آن دشت این جهان کو همین لاغر همین لاغر همین لاغر شود از خوف نان که چه خواهم خورد مستقبل عجب لوت فردا از کجا سازم طلب سالها خوردی و کم نامد ز خیر ترک مستقبل کن و ماضی نگر
part where Michael talks.
I should do a drum roll for that.
These next two pieces are from a story about a parrot, and it's his merchant, her merchant, I guess, in this case.
It's ambiguous who owns
It's
who.
ambiguous. They're kind
Actually,
of,
that's a good point. I
it
never
is
thought of- I never
ambiguous.
thought of that.
Yeah, who owns who. The first part is a pretty complete song, and the second
Yeah.
part is a fragment.
Sure.
There was a merchant, and he kept a parrot imprisoned in a cage, a pretty parrot. The merchant made ready for travel to India. Because of his generosity, he asked each slave and handmaid, "What shall I bring home for you?" Each one named some desired object. He then asked the parrot, "What present would you like from the land of India?" And the parrot said,
Speak of my woes to pirates, hear and tell them, imprisoned by the destiny of heaven, forsaken, locked in her cage, a pirate longs for you. Guide her and show her the way. Bring to mind this grieving bird. She in bondage, you in flight, now on greens, now on trees. I in this cage, you in the rose garden. Raise a cup of wine, as I am drinking blood. I plead for justice. Or spill a draught on earth to my lost fortune pressed on dust.
Sweet voiced bird of song, my companion, fairest bird of flight, sweet voiced bird of song, joy of my heart. You were the wine of my soul, fire of my breast. Bird of God and secret groaning of my soul, what became of your sweet cry? Oh, my tongue brought great harm, this fire and smoke. Tongue, you are a treasure without end. O vengeance of God, no mercy and no cure. Answer me or give me joy. You have made my bird fly away. A night as black as coal, bedaubed with pitch. A night of ebony, a night on which Mars, Mercury, and Saturn would not rise. Even the moon seemed fearful of the skies. Dark Ahriman appeared on every side like a snake whose jaws gape open wide. The garden and stream by which I lay became a sea of pitch. It seemed that day would never come. The sky no longer turned, the weakened sun no longer moved or burned. Fear gripped the world, and utter silence fell, stilling the clamor of the watchman's spell, silencing all the myriad cries and calls of everything that flies, or walks, or crawls. I started up, bewildered, terrified. My fear awoke the woman at my side. I called for her to bring torches, light. She fetched bright candles to dispel the night, and laid a feast on which to dine. Red pomegranates, citrons, quinces, wine, together with a goblet polished, fit for kings or emperors to drink from it. She said, "Drink up your wine. As you do, I will tell a story from the days gone by." "Sweet moon," I said, "my cypress, my delight, tell me this tale to while away the night." "First, listen well," she said, "and when you've heard the story through, record it word for word."
impressions, any ideas, questions, points of confusion, disgust, protests, just let us know. It will help in the process of figuring out.
Creation.
Yeah, and again, we haven't talked about the theatrics of it and visuals, we
We were
imagine.
gonna tell you all about the wonderful things that were going on stage, but we didn't actually do it.
Well, we'll go ahead, you know, anyway, but we're thinking puppets and, I don't know, really good stuff. Depends on the budget.
The
of
last
course.
famous words.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone want to turn the lights up? Oh, thanks.
Feel free to talk to us as we pack, because there's another show.